Okay, well, we're going to talk about warrants today. By the way, I'm Judge Herb Dodell, and I did a lot of criminal work when I was actively practicing full time. So some of the YouTubes we're going to talk about are going to deal with criminal issues. Today, we're going to talk about warrants. You've heard that term used before. There are basically three different types of warrants. There's an arrest warrant, there's a search warrant, and then there's a bench warrant. So I'm going to take them one at a time. An arrest warrant is generated by the officers going to law enforcement agencies like the district attorney's office, presenting enough information to satisfy law enforcement or the district attorney's office that sufficient activity has taken place of a criminal nature to justify the arrest of the person who will be accused. It can be done long before any formal proceedings are taken. All you need is sufficient information to believe there's what's called probable cause. Now, if an arrest warrant is issued, does that mean they're going to come out and get you tomorrow morning? Generally not. If it's a crime of some severity, that inspires law enforcement to go out and get you. Generally, it just sits on the record, and if you get stopped for a traffic ticket, they're going to run your name and the information through the computer, and if you come up and there's a warrant out for you, they're going to take you in right then and there, and you're going to spend some time in jail until you post bond, because that's a legitimate enforcement tool for law enforcement. Second warrant is called a search warrant. Now, the framers of our Constitution wanted to make sure that the government didn't just come and grab everything that they wanted to just to go chase you. And so they have to satisfy a judge that there is sufficient basis to believe that a crime has been committed and that a particular location, it could be a home, it could be an office, it could be your car, contains the information which supports the allegations that a crime was committed. We've all been watching what happened with Michael Cohen. They got a search warrant. They took that search warrant and they went to his house, they went to his office, I think they went someplace else, and got whatever it is that is set forth in an attachment to that warrant. In other words, they can only grab what's in that warrant. Although, if they're searching a property and they find evidence of some other crime, they could arrest you right then and there on the spot, or they could add that as another element to the crimes for which you are going to be charged. And there are constitutional rights in California. It's called Section 1538.5. It's basically a motion to quash, and one of the sessions we're going to talk about what a quash means. You can quash that search warrant because either it was obtained without probable cause, it was done illegally, there was improper notice, or things of that nature. The third warrant is a bench warrant. A bench warrant is issued by the court for generally a failure to appear. We talked previously about an oral examination of a debtor. If you're a judgment creditor and you want to know what the debtor has, and we'll talk about that sometime in the future, what you do is you get an order from the court demanding that the debtor appear and disclose all of their assets. That includes any transfer they made of assets within a period of time prior to the determination which results in the judgment. Now, if they don't show up, what I have been doing for a long time, is I issue what's called a bench warrant, and I set bail. Usually it's $2,500 to $5,000, but we don't send the sheriff out to get you right then and there. We send you a letter. We notify you that there's now a bench warrant out for your arrest. If you come in and you surrender, I recall the warrant, and you would go forward with the examination as required by the order. If you don't show up the second time, then it's more serious. We reissue the order, or we withdraw the stay on that order, and they get arrested. And I set bail at double the amount. Usually these are all related to failures to appear, not anywhere near as serious as arrest warrants or search warrants. But pay attention. If there's a warrant out for you, you don't want to go to jail. And if you know there's a search warrant being effectuated, make sure you don't have anything that's going to be grabbed by somebody if you have advance notice. The problem usually is they come unexpectedly. So keep in mind, if you're involved in any kind of activity you think you're going to subject yourself to any criminal prosecution, be careful of what you keep in your home and your office. Anyway, we'll talk more about motions to quash in a subsequent YouTube.